In 1968, David O'Reilly took a job at Chevron Corporation. In doing so, he launched a 41-year career with the company that culminated in his appointment as CEO in 2000. His ascension through the ranks included myriad accomplishments. But throughout his journey, friends and colleagues say the cornerstone of both his corporate and personal life has been his unwavering commitment to improving the lives of people in his path. And it's an ethic shared by his wife of 41 years, Joan.
What I'll remember Dave for is his generosity at an individual level with me, but also teaching me the value of Chevron being a good corporate citizen everywhere that we operate around the world.
The O'Reillys truly do have a feeling of obligation, of giving back, and they take that very, very seriously. That's something that I really admire about them.
Joan and Dave are there for their family, they're there for their friends, and they're there for their community.
It begins with a family the way I was raised, and that was what we were expected to do, was to be sympathetic to others that had needs. And I think that was just ingrained in me from an early age.
It was a lesson that shaped David O'Reilly's workplace priorities.
Dave, when he would visit a facility or visit with employees, he wouldn't talk about production, he wouldn't talk about earnings, he would talk about safety. And employees realized that he genuinely cared about them. And there's no greater gift that you can give to the workforce than for them to know that you care first and foremost about their personal well-being. Dave made that clear every single day that I worked for him.
That caring transcended Chevron's work ethic as David expanded Chevron's programs to encourage his employees to give back to the communities where they worked.
We always encouraged our employees to participate in local community activities. In fact, our Humankind program not only matches dollars contributed to local organizations, but it also matches volunteer hours.
These efforts not only energized Chevron's workforce, but had a significant impact on hundreds of organizations. For her part, Joan O'Reilly mobilized the spouses of Chevron employees.
I was fortunate to work with Joan at Wardrobe for Opportunity, which is an organization that dresses women for job interviews. And these women are women who have been out of work and are trying to get back into the workforce. I know that when Joan's clients left, they left not only with a new wardrobe, but they left with a new sense of confidence, thanks to Joan.
You just hope and pray that they, become successful and get what they need and pick themselves up. It's really a good feeling to know that you can help that.
Individuals do make a difference. A lot of people look at big companies and they think they're big monolithic kind of organizations, and in fact they're made up of people, and every one of them makes a contribution to the success of the whole enterprise. Community is made up of individuals working together to solve an issue.
In 2008, David extended Chevron's reach into impoverished communities around the world by committing $30 million to the Global Fund.
The more we've lived, the more we've learned, and the more we've traveled around. We see a lot of poverty, we see a lot of illnesses, both chronic and short-term, that need attention.
Joan, a former nurse, is aware of the challenges faced by families dealing with illness. Joan visited Chevron's clinics around the world and involved herself here at home, working with groups like Active Charity, which introduced her and David to JDRF.
It started with our son-in-law and his friends forming this group to raise money for a good cause. And they identified JDRF as a worthy recipient of the efforts that they put into raising money.
That fundraiser, now in its 7th year, is the Active Charity Summer Classic to benefit JDRF.
When I learned that one person is diagnosed with diabetes every 30 minutes, it was really clear that this is an epidemic that somebody and some people need to get behind and really try to solve this. I knew that the O'Reillys would want to be involved and that they would become very dedicated to this cause and the people in the organization. A lot of times when people think of the O'Reillys, they frame them in terms of Chevron, a lot of times for obvious reasons, but I know them as a family and friends. When they decide to participate and get involved with something, they do it 110%. Without families like the O'Reillys, the engine for research simply stops.
The hope is that the work that JDRF does will lead to cures for juvenile diabetes. I'm confident that there will be an answer, that there will be progress made, because I've seen it in the businesses that we're involved in. I don't know much about the medical field, but I know that if we keep working on it, there'll be breakthroughs.
Breakthroughs in lives, in local communities, and beyond, thanks to the professional and private efforts of David and Joan O'Reilly, who, though retired, say they will continue to work for people.
Every one person can make a difference. Where there are people working actively to solve a health problem, everybody counts. And the people that support that effort, everybody counts.
And perhaps nobody counts more to David O'Reilly than Joan.
She's a very warm and caring person. A great mother, a great grandmother, a great wife. She's the best.
David is a very honorable man, and I'm just so proud of him. And I'm going to cry. He's a great father, a great grandfather, and a great husband. And I love him. Thanks for the 40 years.